So, I wanted to make this video not because I'm upset or anything. This rant is just to explain why I find the situation itself less frustrating than the response to it. For those out of the loop, Nintendo announced yesterday on their social media that they would be holding a Nintendo Switch Online playtest, and it would only be available for Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack members. Of course, it wasn't for all paying members. There was an application process and you had to sign up to be accepted. The sign-up window was scheduled for the day, which was earlier this morning, and it was supposed to last for about 5 days. So not everyone who applied would get accepted. In select regions outside of Japan, it was a first-come, first-served situation. While Japan had a lottery-like raffle where everyone could apply, but only a random bunch would be selected. And honestly, I don't know why they just didn't apply those same rules to all regions. Because, unsurprisingly, the first-come, first-served idea backfired. Like mentioned, Nintendo announced that the applications would be open for the next 5 days. But guess how long it actually took for applications to fill up? An hour? 30 minutes? Hell, less than 5 minutes? No, believe it or not, it took less than 1 minute. Not even a full minute, less than that. And I get it, Nintendo has a lot of fans. It's not like we haven't had this problem with pre-orders where supply can't meet the demand. But this is just a closed test for already paying customers. So maybe it really isn't that big of a deal, but for someone who did wait for the exact moment for the application to be available and applied immediately and still got rejected, I think it's somewhat fair to be a little frustrated about the situation, right? Like, couldn't they have extended the number of players just a little bit to where it wouldn't have filled up within less than a minute? Again, they set the window for 5 whole days. You can't argue that was just a precaution. Did they really expect it to fill up in less than a minute? Anyways, I tweeted my frustration about the situation, and of course, I wasn't actually mad, it was just a reaction to the fleeting moment. But naturally, the Nintendo warriors with their checkmarks rushed to defend the company. And while I don't really care what defense they come up with for a billion-dollar company that doesn't give two shits about them or even know they exist, this still raises another issue that sorta bothers me. And that is the defensiveness when anyone says something negative about Nintendo. As I'm sure some of you watching this might think I'm just whining for no reason, and while you're not entirely wrong, I still think Nintendo is somewhat at fault too. Or at least that this situation is not that practical from a logical perspective. Like, why can't I just vent about something in regards to Nintendo? Why is it always so hard to accept for certain Nintendo fans? Like, my point is that Nintendo has shown before how incompetent they can be when they underestimate their fans and underprepare for situations. This has happened so many times with pre-orders and select products that Nintendo never had the supply for the demand. You can argue all you want about how they couldn't predict it would fill up that quickly, or how they only wanted a small select group since it's a playtest and not a public product. But if that's the case, why even offer this opportunity to us? You set a scheduled time, gave us a 5-day window to apply, and said it was first come, first served, implying that there would be a chance for anyone quick enough. Only for it to turn into something similar to a scalping situation. And also, for those arguing that they limited it to 10k per region, nowhere does it say that on the application or in the Learn More section. Let's just be real, they weren't prepared for the situation. It's as simple as that. Like, there's no way you genuinely think it's fair for it to last less than 1 minute. We're talking about seconds here. But again, I don't really care that much about missing out on this. I just don't get how people can't see that I might have a valid complaint about this situation. And I'm sure within a week, when we finally know what the playtest is, it won't matter much or mean anything significant. Honestly, I assume it's nothing that important anyway, but that doesn't mean I can't criticize how it was handled. So I don't think being a little frustrated over this is taking it too far. I think those who blindly defend Nintendo are the problem. Like, Nintendo doesn't need your excuses. Why can't they be held accountable? At the end of the day, I won't be thinking of this anymore, but that doesn't mean we can't share our frustrations over situations like this. It baffles me how many people just defend Nintendo blindly. I love them just as much as you do, but doesn't mean I can't criticize them. It's called tough love. When you love something, you want what's best. Unconditional love, though, becomes a problem because it stops you from seeing any faults, even though they clearly make mistakes. Like, come on, we all know the bigger a corporation gets, the less connected they are with their consumers and the greedier they become. Nintendo sadly has followed that path over the years. And I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty, but one basic example I could use is we went from having free online services with the Wii, Wii U, DS, and 3DS to now having to pay monthly for those same features on the Nintendo Switch. And honestly, if that's all Nintendo Switch Online became, I'd actually be fine with it. Sure, Nintendo needs funds to maintain their online servers, and with so many players, we have to pay for that. But also locking virtual console games behind it? Like, I understand trying to give more value to it, but you're really trying to force your consumers to pay a monthly subscription or some kind of live service fee. Because up until the Switch, many players have already bought all of those games multiple times on previous Nintendo systems. But now they're locked behind a subscription service, and once you unsubscribe, you lose access to those games. Like, Nintendo fans have clowned on PlayStation and Xbox for their many corporate decisions that they don't believe Nintendo will ever follow. But come on, don't be in denial. Nintendo has pretty much followed in their footsteps exactly. Hell, maybe even more so, as PlayStation and Xbox let you play their digital games from their previous generations on their newer consoles. Like, once you bought them, you own them. They don't need to re-release it on a new system. Yet Nintendo has re-released these same virtual console classics on each and every new generation of console. And they want you to pay each and every single time. But not only that, now they don't even want to give you the rights to owning the game. They want you to pay a monthly subscription to continue playing it. So again, come on now. Nintendo has been pretty scummy as well over the years. Let's not pretend that's not the case. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm a bigger Nintendo fan than I am of any other video game company. And because of that, I want the best for the consumer, because I am one of them. So why can't I complain about something that's bothering me, especially when I support them and know exactly what it feels like to be a consumer who has been let down? Anyways, I digress. My point is, if you dig deep enough, you'll find plenty of shady things Nintendo has been doing over the years. So just know this, at the end of the day, no matter how big of a fan you are, no matter how many games you bought, no matter how much you love this company, you're just another number to them. So next time, relax when someone expresses frustration towards this billion-dollar company. Because Nintendo isn't going to care nor see it. So why should you?